And first century Greeks and Romans were very familiar with sports arenas. In fact, a lot of the runners would strip down to essentially almost nothing so that they could increase their speed, much like we see even in the Olympics. In fact, this is probably why Paul used the verbiage, lay aside every weight and sin in order to run the race for the higher calling in Hebrews, because this would be familiar to them. Now, the word sin in this verse is obvious because of biblical interpretation, but the word weight has some flexibility. In fact, in some translations, it can even relate to the word bend, and it means encumbrance. And it's insinuating anything that impedes progress for a high calling. And it's showing the difference here that everything isn't overtly transgressive, but some things can slow momentum spiritually. Relationships that dilute your devoutness or your zeal for God, unhealthy habits that prevent your body from optimal performance, neutral pursuits of time consuming hobbies that take away from your time with God. I noticed that before Paul talks about these weights, he mentions that we're surrounded, meaning that these weights impact an entire body because our higher calling never involves just us. And this also connects to some previous words Paul mentioned when he says everything is lawful, but everything is not beneficial for us. Have you ever heard someone say, I'm not hurting anybody, this isn't hurting anybody? Maybe you should guide them to the correct question, but is it helping anybody? Listen, some things won't separate you necessarily from God, but they will slow your progress in walking in unity towards Him and the higher calling He has for your life. What's weighing you down today? What's causing you to get distracted? What's making you stagnant? Sometimes it isn't sin, it's the weight we won't let go of. And because we don't see this weight as a sin, we cannot see its stronghold. Is it that relationship you won't walk away from that's causing you to struggle? Is it that need for perfectionism that's causing you to constantly stay overwhelmed? Is it the unhealthy food you're eating that is actually causing a hindrance on your physical strength to keep going? Is it that hobby that you're so consumed with that's actually taking your time away from studying and learning more about God? Is it that environment or place that you refuse to leave that's actually keeping you stuck? These are weights, and we're not called to be bodybuilders. We're actually called to be runners. And it's time to lay them down so you can see how much easier it is to reach higher when they're not in your hands.